Coming off a 3-0 sweep and 4 straight profitable days. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and it is about dang time. We got a sweep. Should have been a 4-0 sweep, but you know what? We'll take a 3-0 sweep. Got some nice ninth inning magic in that team total parlay as well. We'll go over the recap in just a little bit. Let's try to make it 5 straight profitable days today. Got to keep building those, building that bankroll and get this momentum going in the right direction. So, of course, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below in the description. You get a 7-day free trial. So, let's get into it. It's an MLB NBA combo fun fact. Here we go. SGA, if you don't know, he's the MVP of the NBA for the Thunder. He is now making more per season than the entire Marlins roster. Yep. You want to play basketball, that's for sure. I think I just saw Duncan Robinson get paid a crap load of money. I put a tweet out about our ex. What do you call those? I don't know. Anyways, SGA's annual salary is now $71.25 million. The Marlins total payroll is $67.4 million. Wild. In this video, we're going to recap that nice sweep yesterday, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups. And we're going to talk who's on fire like we do every Thursday. Hitters on fire in the last 7 days. And then we'll give you the best pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire pitcher report, and then, of course, we'll finish it with our best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. Also, Discord is completely free. We don't charge for picks or do any of that. Click that link below in the description and come join us, and we talk sports and gambling every single night. So that's what we got. Let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. 3 beautiful green check marks. The alternate team total parlay. We stay sizzling hot on these thanks to one man, Jorge Soler. I think I need to buy his jersey or something. But seriously, that was crazy. Tigers team total over 2.5 in game 1. They had 6 in the first inning. That's how you cash it. The Yankees team total over 1.5. They started slow, but they came all the way back down 8-0 to tie it at 9. They easily went over 1.5. And then the Angels over 2.5. This was going to give me a heart attack tonight. They scored 2 in the first inning, and then nothing in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. And then the ninth inning leads off with a Jorge Soler solo bomb. Thank you so much, sir, for the winner. Hunter Brown over 6.5 Ks ends with 8. Nice winner there. Will Warren under 17.5 outs. Never a doubt. That 9-0 lead that the Blue Jays had was because Will Warren gave up 7 in the first inning. This guy had no chance of going 6 innings. And then this one. This is what cost us a 4-0 sweep. But again, the beauty of the -1s are you just void it and it's a push. Cubs -1. Up 5-3 going to the 9th inning. Matt Shaw makes an error. Guy gets on base. And eventually they score that guy. And the Cubs win 5-4. So it is a push. But you know what? We got a little luck on the Angels. So we'll take it. So 3-0 day there. As we work back out of that hole we built I built ourselves, myself, in the last few weeks. We were down like 11 units, I think, 12 units at one time. Now down 7.11. There's the breakdown of all the bets as well. So that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, we got 10 good hitter matchups for you today because we only got a 10-game slate. But Christian Walker, 12 for 35 with a couple ding-dongs off of Kyle Freeland, as well as Reese's Pieces Hoskins, 2 home runs off Peterson. Then you go down the list, you see Bo Bichette, 4 for 12. I don't know if he's going to be back yet, though. Going up against Clark Schmidt. Andres Jimenez, 5 for 11 against Schmidt. And over there on the right side, Eugenio Suarez, who's having a great year, 4 for 11 off Robbie Ray, so on and so on. Nothing like crazy here in the hitter matchups today. Again, a smaller slate, but that's what we got for the good hitters. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. And we got some Met players, that's for sure. Well, we only got 2 of them, it looks like. Francisco Lindor, 3 for 22 with 6 Ks off of Jose Quintana. And down there, Juan Soto, 1 for 10 with 2 Ks off of Quintana as well. And then Vlad Guerrero, 2 for 13. Only 1 strikeout, though, against Clark Schmidt. I like to kind of look at his strikeouts. Are they getting massively fooled or just kind of some bad luck? Because these are small sample sizes. But anyways, we got Grisham and then Naylor down there, 1 for 10 with 2 Ks off of Robbie Ray. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk who's on fire. All right, here is the first page. If you're new to this, we do this once a week. You have to have a minimum of 20 at-bats and hit 340 or higher just to kind of let you know who has been swinging it well. And we now live in a world where this one page has 3 Orioles hitters and 2 Pirates hitters. That's amazing, guys. When you've seen their offenses perform over the whole course of the year. But Ke'Bryan Hayes hitting 417. You see down there McCutchen hitting 400. Then Laureano Sanchez, all both over 400 for the Baltimore Orioles, and then 348 for Gunnar Henderson. Sanchez for the Orioles, how about 2 home runs and 10 RBIs as well? So not too shabby. But there's all the rest of the guys, including rookie Roman Anthony, 409 in the last 7 days. So take a screenshot. This is page 1. Now let's take a look at page 2. As you can tell, we've had 3 pages sometimes, but only a page and a half. We've had less hitting lately, if you can't tell. Perdomo, if I could say his name, 350 average. Ramirez, Agustin Ramirez, 400. Ray Muto, 400. Torkelson, 400. So on and so on. Willier Abreu for the Red Sox. How about 3 bombs and 10 ribbies? That's not too shabby. So that's what we got for the hitters on fire this week. And now let's talk some Ks. All right, when I say Ks, I mean we don't really have any good pitcher strikeout matchups, but we'll go over some numbers. These are the 4 guys today that have a 24% or higher K rate, just to kind of give you an idea who they're facing and all that. But the lefty, Brandon Walter at Colorado, Rocky's been better against lefties. They have the 13th highest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks, 22.6. And then Luis Ortiz at the Cubs. Luis Ortiz is a guy up and down with Ks, but Cubs are incredibly hard to strike out. Second lowest K rate versus righties, 17.5%. And then Robbie Ray at the D-backs. D-backs have the 11th lowest K rate versus lefties at 20.3. And then Brian Wu facing the Royals, and they also do not strike out. 4th lowest K rate versus righties at 17.9. So the 4 highest K rate guys on the slate today, they're facing some tough matchups. Brandon Walter at least has an okay matchup, but in Coors Field, you never know how that's going to go. So that's what we got for the pitcher strikeouts. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 5 matchups on a 10-game slate. If you're new to the channel, we give this out every day as well. Home runs per 9, hits per 9, expected ERA, etc., etc. All the averages are on the bottom, but we start out with Fiesta versus Perez. Festa, 6 starts of 2 or less earned runs and 2 starts of 8 earned runs. So no more than 6 Ks in a start, but he's been very hit or miss. 5.4 ERA with an expected ERA almost 6 says that. But Yuri Perez for the Marlins, giving up 3+ earned runs in 3 of 4 starts this year. He hasn't gone more than 4.2 innings yet, thanks to 10 walks already in those 16 innings. And then Brandon Walter, who we just mentioned, just in the K matchups, 29.2 innings pitched already. 4 great starts and 1 terrible start, which was at the Angels. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies, we know is just not very good. Obviously, he's pitched for the Colorado for a while, but just does not pitch well in Coors Field, as most pitchers don't. And then ends for the Tigers. He made 1 start this year, just recently, gave up 1 hit to the A's on 0 earned runs. Really small sample size, hard to know what we're going to get out of him. Going up against Jake Irvin, who is not good, got annihilated in his last start. Gave up 9 hits and 8 earned runs in 4.1 innings versus the Angels. And then Clark Schmidt versus Basset Hounds. Schmidt went 20.2 straight scoreless innings before giving up 4 earned runs in his last start to the A's. I didn't say Oakland, you did. Anyways, Bassett got crushed last start. 8 earned runs at Boston. He's been hit and miss this season. Better at home, like we've mentioned before. But every time I bet or a fade, tail him, whatever, he does the opposite. So he's not my favorite. But Jose Quintana versus the Mets. Quintana giving up 2 or less earned runs in 8 starts. Giving up 4, 5, and 6 earned runs in those other 3. So he's an aging veteran who somehow does a pretty good job at limiting runs, limiting hard contact, but does not miss many bats with a 10.5% walk rate. And then David Peterson. He has given up 3+ earned runs in 4 of his 5 starts. Last 5 starts, giving up 10 earned runs, though, in his last 8.2 innings. He struggles mostly on the road. He's actually been pretty decent at home, and he's been pitching on the road quite a bit lately, so keep that in mind. But that's what we got for page 1. Now let's go to page 2, and we got the ground ball machine, Jose Soriano, coming off his worst start of the year, giving up 8 earned runs on 9 hits to the Nationals at home. That was just a wild one. And speaking of annihilation, how about Bryce Elder? He got annihilated lately. He's been getting annihilated, but in his last 3 starts, 10.2 innings. Yeah, I hope you're sitting down for this. 25 hits, 18 earned runs. Yes, 25 hits, 18 earned runs in 10.2 innings. That is no bueno. And then Luis Ortiz, another guy who's as inconsistent as my toddler moods, honestly. Like, giving up 4+ earned runs in 3 of his 4 starts. He is a guy who could strike out 3 or he could strike out 12. It's been all over the place. But in between that 3 of 4 starts where he struggled, he had a 10 strikeout shutout versus the A's. So what are you going to get? We will find out. But he is a tough matchup going up against the Cubs. And Cade Horton, another guy coming off his worst start of the year, giving up 8 hits and 7 earned runs in 4 innings at Houston. And then Robbie Ray giving up 3 or less earned runs in 16 of 17 starts. He gives his team a chance to win, but he has been getting hit a little bit more lately. 23 hits allowed in his last 21 innings. And then Brandon Pfaadt. You guys know what I think about him. He is not good. but he has settled down a little bit lately. I will say that. He's given up 10 earned runs in his last 20 innings. Yes, that is settling down for him. But he somehow does have 7 Ks in 2 straight games now. Seth Lugo versus Brian Wu. Lugo had an elite 1.26 ERA in June over 28.2 innings. It's been impressive. And then Brian Wu back to his usual dominant self again after a couple hiccups he had there, giving up just 2 earned runs in his last 19 innings with 24 strikeouts. And the final matchup, Aaron Savali versus Carrot Top. Savali giving up 2 or less earned runs in 6 of 8 starts. I don't know how he's doing it, to be honest with you. Low K rate, high walk rate, but either way, he's getting the job done. He still is giving up a lot of hits. You see 9.7 hits per 9. And then Dustin May now giving up 3+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5. In his last 23 innings, he has just 14 strikeouts and 12 walks. That is not a good ratio at all. So that's what we got for all 10 matchups and all the research help. Now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Wrigley Field, where the Cubbies host the Cleveland Guardians. Cubs on the money line -157. Guardians money line +128 with a total of 8.5 runs. I'm not taking the Cubbies. I'm taking a player prop. Give me Luis Ortiz under 17.5 outs recorded, -125 on DraftKings for a half unit. So obviously he's the pitcher for the Guardians. This is a tough matchup for Mr. Ortiz. And Luis on the road this season, as you can see by this outlier screenshot, under this line in 6 of 9 starts, the 3 overs were right at 18 outs. So this is not a guy that can go deep, that goes 7 innings and all that kind of stuff. If he goes over, it's right at 6 innings. Not a huge surprise. Obviously, that's a big out in baseball and for outs recorded. But he has a 5.1 ERA on the road with a 12.5% walk rate. Also, he has a 1.48 whip on the road. There's going to be a lot of base runners, and that's what builds pitch counts, obviously. Ortiz is a guy who relies on Ks and whiffs. The Cubs don't do much of that. The Cubs offense are crushing righties right now. 3rd highest WRC+, 4th highest power, 8th highest batting average. And here's a wild stat for you guys. The last 15 right-handed pitchers to face the Cubs, 14 of those 15 went under this line. It's like automatic, and these books continue to give 17.5 outs line. Unfortunately, I haven't taken advantage of it as much. As you can see, 14 of those 15. Only 2 of those 14 unders even went more than 5 innings. I mean, it's been pretty much 5 innings or less. And why is that, you ask? It's a great question. Cubs do not chase a ton of pitches. They have long at-bats. They foul off a lot of pitches. They have the 5th lowest chase rate in the majors, 26.4. 4th lowest whiff rate. And by the way, we did cash one recently. Andre Palante going up against some under outs. It was an easy winner because I even mentioned it in that game. I was watching it, and they just did not chase his off speed, which was just awesome to watch. Just not a fan of watching teams chase pitches all over. But and by the way, speaking of chasing, Crow Armstrong has the highest swing rate in the entire major leagues. That guy will swing at anything. But overall, the Cubs do not chase much. Gavin Williams and Tanner Bybee in this series. Williams actually got close, 17 outs. Tanner Bybee just went 4 innings against the Cubs yesterday. Guardians bullpen also rested, even though Bybee went 4, because Allard ate up 3 innings yesterday. So this Cleveland bullpen, especially the elite arms, they are all available tomorrow. So I don't think they're going to have any issue going right to the bullpen if he gets in trouble. So give me Louis under 17.5 outs as my first best bet. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like we need some intro song for the alt team total parlay because we have been on a roll. Let's do it again. Give me the Tigers team total over 2.5, Angels team total over 2.5, and the Royals team total under 6.5. This is -116 on DraftKings. Again, a 1-unit play for me here. 2 of these teams you've seen the last couple days. Tigers team total over 2.5. We're going to run it back. Their team total is set at 5.5 in this game for a reason. This Tigers offense, like I've been saying, 2nd highest WRC+, 135, 100 is average. Number 1 slugging, number 1 ISO power. We all know they can hit the ball at the ballpark at any time. They have scored 3+ runs in 8 of their last 10, averaging 6 runs per game in their last 10. They have now scored 3+ runs in 76% of games this year that they have faced a righty starter. Quick note on their offense, so Kerry Carpenter is on the AL. You might already know that. Went on a couple days ago, but still, I trust this offense. Facing Jake Irvin. He isn't very good and also struggles versus lefties. And again, whenever we take the Tigers, it's always key to have a pitcher that struggles versus lefties. He has given up a 261 average and 494 slugging to lefties. And by the way, just yesterday when we had the Tigers, and they got 6th in the first inning, they were facing Trevor Williams. What does he do? Struggle versus lefties. What did the lefties do in the first inning? I think the lefties themselves got 4 or 5 hits in just that first inning alone. Anyways, back to Jake Irvin. 4.98 xFIP versus lefties with only a 16% K rate. Giving up 2+ earned runs in 14 of 17 starts. I mean, I can't imagine 2 is like the minimum I think he will give up. He had a 7.01 ERA in June with a 3.03 average against. That is not good at all. Detroit, 9 guaranteed at-bats as the road team. Between Irvin and this bad Nats bullpen, Detroit should easily score 3+ runs. Now, second one, Angels team total over 2.5. Yes, they made us sweat to the 9th inning. They scored 2 in the first and 1 in the 9th to get it done. But we're going back to the well because they're facing possibly the starting pitcher in the worst form in the entire major leagues. That's Mr. Bryce Elder. I said it during the pitcher report. I'm going to say it again. In his last 3 starts, again, if you're drinking coffee, take a break. This is insane. 25 hits and 18 earned runs in his last 10.2 innings. He has given up about 2.5 hits per inning and almost 2 earned runs per inning. That just doesn't seem right. And by the way, maybe you're thinking, well, maybe he faced the Dodgers and all that. Nope, Colorado at home and at Miami, and the other one was against the Phillies. He also has, in the last 3 starts, 8 Ks and 8 walks. If you don't know much about baseball, you're not supposed to have the same amount of Ks as walks, that's for sure. But Angels offense, they continue to hit. Yesterday, a little bit of an off day in those middle innings, obviously, but still got 3 runs. They've now scored 3+ runs in 10 straight games, averaging a huge 6.1 runs per game in the last 10. Scored 3+ runs in 16 of the last 20 games overall. They have power. We've seen it. Yeah, we just saw Joe Adell go deep in the first. Soler went deep in the 9th. They have a great matchup versus Elder here. 9 guaranteed at-bats as the road team. I like them to get 3+ runs again for the 11th straight game. Now, third leg. Royals team total, I can't talk, under 6.5. This is what dries up that juice, right? Or whatever. Full game total for both teams is 7 in this game. That should tell you everything you need to know. I shouldn't need to go into too much detail with the Royals scoring under 6.5. Their team total is set at 2.5. They've been better on the road, but 7 runs is not easy. They've scored 6 or fewer runs in 75 of 87 games this year, averaging just 3.3 runs per game. One of the worst offenses in the entire major leagues. They would have to double their average just to go over this. They have the 3rd lowest WRC plus versus righties last 3 weeks. Caglione has really struggled, just not a good offense overall. And they're facing Brian Wu. If you don't know, one of the better starting pitchers in this league, especially at home. One of the best starting pitchers at home this year. 2.08 ERA, 174 average against, and a .82 whip at home this season. Giving up 1 or less earned run in 4 of 6 home starts. Royals also hitting in the #1 pitcher's park in the majors. That's right. It is really hard to hit in Seattle. How do I know? Well, I've seen our offense do it every single year of my life. But I just love the Royals here as the under 6.5. Obviously, if you don't want to do that much or it gets higher in juice, I like them under 5.5 too if you want to do that. So give me the Tigers team total over 2.5, Angels over 2.5, and Royals under 6.5. That is my second and final best bet on the video. There will be more bets coming, so be sure to check the pinned comments. But just a 10-game slate, I really like these 2 bets, and then we'll get you a 3rd or 4th in the morning. I don't want to force too many the night before, but that's what we got. Thanks for listening. Before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets so far. Luis Ortiz under 17.5 outs recorded, -125 for a half unit. And then the alternate team total parlay. Let's stay sizzling hot. We got a 1-unit play. Tigers over 2.5, Angels over 2.5, and the Royals under 6.5. Thank you guys for listening. As always, appreciate all the comments below. I do read them every day. Can't always get back to them, but I try my best. Really do appreciate that. Helps this channel. And also, if you haven't already, hit that like button. But hope you guys have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.